boys and girls, I hope everyone is doing well. Today we're making a 3D sunflower craft together. Here's what it will look like whenever we're done. If you turn it, you can see that the petals stick out, which makes them 3D, and so does the middle of the sunflower. To make it, you're going to need 3 pieces of construction paper. You want to pick one color for the background. Now I'm going to use blue today. And then you'll need a piece of yellow paper to make the petals of your sunflower, and a piece of green paper to make the stem. You'll also need some sunflower seeds. I had sunflower seeds that don't have the shell on them, but if you have some at home that do have the shell on them, that will be good. You'll need scissors and some liquid glue. So after you have picked your background color, you can lay it flat on the table, and we are going to work on cutting our petals out. So to cut our petals, we're going to cut 3 strips of long pieces first. You can make them about 1 inch wide. And just cut all the way down the length of the paper like this. So there's 1, 2, and 3. And then you're going to take these and you're going to cut them in half, like this. So, here's the first one. I'm just eyeballing it, but you can measure it out if that helps you. 2 and 3. Okay. And now we're going to make the loops that will make up our sunflower petals. And we're going to do this first so that it has time to sit and dry while we get everything else ready. So to do this, you're just going to fold over for the ends to meet so that it makes a loop like this. So what I like to do is put a small dot of glue right here and then fold it over and stick it together. And you're going to want to hold it for a few seconds so that it doesn't just pop open. So once you see that it's sticking together well, you can set this one aside to dry, and we're going to work on our others. We're going to hold it and then set it aside. We're going to do this with all of the yellow pieces that we just cut. And if this happens, that's okay. It just means I didn't hold it long enough, so I'm just going to put a new, really small dot of glue and then fold it back over and fix it. It's no big deal. Make sure you save this bigger piece that you have left over, because we're also going to use that to cut a circle for the middle of the petals. So 1 more. Now to make this a little less messy, you could use stick glue to do your petals, but I just find that the liquid glue sticks a little bit better and dries a little quicker, even though it is a little bit messier. But if the glue is spilling out into the sides, I just brush it off with my finger. Okay, so those are all of our petals. Next, let's get our green piece of paper and we're going to cut out a stem for our sunflower. So we're going to cut a long skinny rectangle, kind of like we did to start our petals, but this needs to reach to about the middle of our background paper. You can make it as wide or as thin as you think that a stem should be. I'm making mine a little bit thicker just because the sunflowers that I have seen have a little bit thicker stems. And you also can cut 2 little leaf shapes to go off of our stem. Okay. And one. Set our leaves to the side and we're going to get our glue back out and we're going to glue our stem to the paper like this so that it looks like the stem of the flower. Just putting a long skinny line of glue. You don't need a lot because it will spread out. And then I'm sticking it down in the middle of my paper. A little bit of glue popped out and I'm just going to rub that off with my finger. Okay. Now we're going to glue our leaves on. Put a small dot with glue. Put these on like that. Okay. Hold it on for a few seconds. Okay, now we're going to glue our petals on. So as petals go on a flower, we're going to glue our petals in a circle around like this. And we're going to leave a little bit of space in the middle because that's where the middle of our sunflower will go. So once you arrange these to how you want them, you're going to glue them down to your paper. And again, just use a small dot of glue so that we can avoid making a mess. Hold it down for a few seconds so it doesn't pop off. Next one. And I'm holding it down. And just keep doing that until all of your petals are glued to your paper. And when you're gluing these down, when you press it down, I would hold it and count to about 5 to let it stick to the paper. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it should be stuck. And let's go our last one. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now all of our petals are stuck to the paper. Now you want to get back out your scraps of paper and use one of the colors to make a circle to go in the middle of our sunflower. And if you want, it might help you make a better circle if you fold your paper in half really lightly and then cut a half circle on the fold of the paper. And that way, it helps you get circle or oval shape. And next, we're going to glue that to the middle right here so we can cover the ends of where our petals are glued together. Just use a dot of glue and stick that down and hold it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and now the fun part, we're going to put some glue in the middle and we're going to sprinkle our sunflowers over it so that the middle of our sunflower has sunflower seeds like in real life. So take your glue and just do thin lines covering that circle. Just do a little bit because it'll run and spread out. So you can do it like this, just putting some all over it. And now you're going to take your sunflowers and you're just going to take some and sprinkle it over that glue so they'll stick. So just taking some in my hand. I'm choosing to sprinkle mine over like that, but if you wanted to take the time to stick them individually, you could. That's just not how I chose to do it. Make sure you're covering all of your glue. And then I just kind of lightly, very lightly press it down. All right. And you're gonna have some extra that didn't get on the glue. So what I do is take my paper, kind of hold it like that, and I'm gonna hold it over my bowl so that I don't make a mess. Just kind of shake off the extra. All right. And now I have 2 3D sunflowers. That's all I have for today. Thank you for watching.